what really brings this screenplay to life is the dialogue. There's some great exchanges in here. I mean, this is where he does his work. Outstanding dialogue in this screenplay. But here I want to share with you the crown jewel of the screenplay. It's on page 61, 62. Let's look at it real quick. There's so much conflict in this exchange between Balini and Lawrence, but what really jumps out is when Balini says he doesn't want to accept defeat, and then Lawrence says, defeat? This is a conclave, Aldo. You talk as if it's a war. And he comes back with anger, because it is war, and you have to commit to a side and save your famous doubts for your prayers. So he takes what he knows about him personally and shoves it right back in his face. Here's how it turned out in the film.
I thought we had your support. If we liberals are not united, Tedesco will become Pope. You have no idea how bad it became, Thomas. The way he and his circle attacked the Holy Father towards the end. The smears, the leaks to the press, it was savage. He fought him every single day of his pontificate. And now that he's dead, he wants to destroy his life's work. If Tedesco becomes Pope, he will undo 60 years of progress.
You talk as if you're the only alternative, but Adeyemi has the wind behind him.
Adeyemi? Mm-hmm. Adeyemi, the man who believes that homosexuals should be sent to prison in this world and hell in the next. Adeyemi's not the answer to anything, and you know it. If you want to defeat Tedesco...
No, this is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war.
It is a war, and you have to commit to a side. Save your precious doubts for your prayers.
Isn't that great? Here's some other interesting dialogue between Lawrence and his secretary O'Malley on page 13. Monsignor O'Malley says, well, Eminence, I say this is a pretty fair vision of hell. And Lawrence says, don't be blasphemous, Ray. Hell arrives tomorrow when we bring in the cardinals. It's good stuff. And there are some beautiful action lines to appreciate in this script. Here's an example on page 2. It's describing the room where the Pope is found. The room is almost shockingly plain. A chest of drawers, nightstand, an anonymous bed that could be found in any hotel. And lying on this bed, slightly propped up on pillows, lies the dead Pope. But for me, the very best is the reveal of who the new Pope is. Again, this was also a great storytelling technique because previously, the 5 other times when they did the count, the score for the sports game, they announced where they're at. This time we forego that and we go straight to this scene of everyone gathered around. Look at it on page 109. It says, a crowd of cardinals are gathered around someone. Their backs to us. We push slowly through the crowd, which parts for us, until we reach the cardinal at the center, the only seated man in the chapel, Benitez. And that's your new Pope. Imagery and symbolism, there's quite a bit in the screenplay. First, we'll look at the windows. The opening scene here is Lawrence in bed looking out the window and it cracks. Then he gets the phone call that the Pope is dead. We're like, okay, that's significant. This is when we get our first glimpse of how the main character sees everything through the spiritual mystery, like we talked about before. Is that the Holy Spirit speaking to him? But what we don't yet realize, and what makes this more interesting, is that is foreshadowing for the major plot twist to come at the end of the screenplay. The selection of the new Pope has certainly broken the glass ceiling. Windows are mentioned 20 times in the script. So here's the first time and the final time. First on page 1, it says, close on a window pane, small, leaded. We hold on the glass. Nothing but black night outside. Not sure what we're supposed to be looking at. Then, with a sharp ping, the pane breaks. All right, that's a good description too. Then on page 108, it says, at the final vote, droplets of water are trickling through the shattered windows and down the stone walls. So this is Lawrence looking up at the windows, which have been destroyed because of the terrorism and the bomb. But it is also a cracked, shattered window, matches the first scene and foreshadows what's coming up real soon. There's also symbolism with the turtles. Remember, there are turtles in a pond at the Vatican that were given to the previous Pope as a gift. And we see them a couple of times. And if you think about turtles, they're slow, deliberate, much like the long process of electing a new Pope. But they're also persistent and determined. And they eventually get where they're going, like progress. can't stop it. And then another one that's a little more obvious is the chessboard. Right away, we see that the Pope has a chessboard laid out after he's died. And we learned that Bellini was playing chess with him almost every day. And he asked if he can have the chessboard because it means something to him, emotional, from the time he spent with the Pope. It shows up again later in the screenplay. But obviously, this symbolizes the strategic game that they're all playing to try to become the next Pope.